It said, like the owner of Lifetime is a pedophile, true, and was charged. Watch the money. Money talks. Yeah. So the CEO, the owner, whatever of Lifetime, he also has some pedophile issues. But yet, here you are producing a Lifetime video,
Wow.
talking about R. Kelly doing it, and then Torre. I wonder if they're going to edit out Torre when they re-air this.
Yeah, when they re-air it.
He was caught, being a sexual deviant as well, like some
I want
disgusting.
to just slap you in the face with it.
Yeah, it's like some disgusting stuff. But here he had his happy black ass up there on the Lifetime documentary talking bad about R. Kelly. So it's like, how dare you? I mean, odd.
We're very hypocritical.
And Terry says, my daughter told me that she measures every man against how her daddy raised her and the example I set for her. That really got to me. Oh, absolutely.
Go ahead. That's how that's how you're supposed to do it.
And that's how you know you did a good job.
Yes,
absolutely. That's how you know. And that's what she's supposed to be doing. Absolutely. Lori says, replying to Terry, me too. How dare they try to tear down his name? That pisses me off. Yeah, but because the guys in the documentary, they sued him and lost twice. Sued Michael Jackson. Well, they sued his estate rather because he was gone and lost twice. And now they come up with this documentary. Now, mind you, Wade Robeson was one of the guys, a group status quo or whatever the group was called. He got on the stand when Michael Jackson was alive and said he never touched me. It's false. He's never done anything to me. And then now he changes his tune because, Michael's dead and his estate is worth, I think, almost $1 billion now?
Yeah.
And they still have the Sony catalog.
Half of it.
Yeah, it's like I'm trying to get some of this money. And Secret Garden, what's happening? It says some states allow children to marry that, but that means you can buy a permit that makes it legal. The state should be charged with criminal conspiracy. I mean, it's like.
Well, yeah. I mean, if your parents consent, and let's say you're 15, and if you're religious or something like that, and you can do that.
Because I in Mexico, not that it has anything to do with here. I'm not sure if it's changed, but I think it's 12. You can legally marry someone. I don't know if it's changed, but 12 you can marry.
Right, or if you're Indian,
somebody.
Yeah, if you're Indian, your culture says that you could prearrange this marriage and
even up in the early 1900s here, it was legal to marry a 12-year-old, a grown 40-year-old. I read a case of a 40-year-old man took a 12-year-old for his bride, and they stayed together forever. But that back then it was normal, I guess.
Sickness.
And then Terry playing, let's see. Also, you're playing Lori. I said, Lori August, anything to sell a story, queen. We black folks are easy targets to them. No, absolutely. You also say, and now he's going to have to answer for that secret deal that's coming. Believe me, he's going to answer for that under the table deal. Oh, absolutely. He thought he was going to get away with it. He being Jeffrey Epstein. And also says, about the one who commented that about R. Kelly, we must clean out our own closet first before going after others, Harvey Weinstein, etc. I just have a question. So what if we cleaned out, let's see. You went out. Okay, what if we clean out our closets? They suddenly pay attention to us? Nah, they brought back old stories that we should have remembered ourselves and got us all excited. Hence, why we look like puppets, if you ask me. Today with social media, they can go back in time and destroy any character more than ever, kind of like Cosby in a way. For the record, I'm against any kind of abuse from any of them or anyone. It's just about us not being the ones to decide where our attention is focused as a community. Like the white supremacists who intended to kill blacks and Democrats, but here we are making fun of the Empire actor. Yes, and I don't know if you saw that at the beginning where I mentioned the publisher of the Alabama newspaper called for the KKK to riot again. In 2019, y'all, this ain't 1919, this is 2019, where this dude, and he was like, yeah, I said it, they need to. Well, why they need to do that? But like you said, we're focusing on Jussie Lying ass over some money. He's trying to raise his brand, and so he's got everybody all involved, and, Jussie's being a justice for Jussie.
And remember, Distracted While Black is the subject of our
Distracted
show.
While Black, that's the subject. And Lori says, is he replying to Terry? Yes, and we will believe this crap too. Yeah, we just fall for it and get mad when somebody tries to say, hey, just think about it for a minute. Is what we're seeing true, and why are we seeing this? I mean, also, look at the amount of black rappers that are being, I don't want to say targeted because I don't really know what's going on, but look at the amount of black rappers that are being what do you call it, arrested. And going through a lot of stuff. Like we had 21 Savage, and the guy Blueface. He sings "Bust Down Thotiana," which is a stupid song, but it's like a #1 trending song. Everybody's remaking it and stuff. Okay. He's looking at 3 years for a gun charge. So it's like, pay attention to this stuff. What's really going on here? And Terry, you say, yep, he wanted to redo that song. And Loria, replying, Terry says, wow, even after he's dead and gone, how low can they go? Oh, you'll be surprised. And Charles says, Timberlake and Robin Thicke too. Okay, now you went a little bit too far with Robin Thicke. No.
He lost his little boo, Paul Pat.
I mean, I like Robin Thicke's music. Did he steal Marvin Gaye's
song? He sure did.
It wasn't just him, though. It was, T.I. and Pharrell let him get away with it,
That's it.
They had to pay. They had to pay.
You got to pay.
And Terry says, he's a true hypocrite brother. And then he says, got him, Demetra. Get him, Demetra and Donovan. Okay. And Al says, that blood in the urine sample, R. Kelly has a new song. I'm standing here looking through the bar saying, damn to myself, I should have known the day would come. I'm scared to read that for a minute.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I think R. Kelly, like, that has to be a hard life to live. Knowing that any minute the gauntlet is going to drop on you, that it's going to catch up to you. But again, as I always go back to, why do we need them to do that for us?
Somebody's saying here, how could R. Kelly be broke after millions of seller CDs and albums?
Well, he talked about it on his song. I admit I listened to it because I wanted to see what he was talking about when it came out. But he says that due to him being illiterate, partially due to him being illiterate, record companies took advantage of him, and he signed bad contracts. Record companies and lawyers took bad advantage of him.
Right.
And plus a lot of settling.
Yeah, I'm sure settling thing. And one of the biggest things that hurt him, now remember that this guy wrote a lot of very popular songs in the 90s. Mm-hmm. When the Aaliyah thing came out, he had to sign away his publishing.
Right.
That is where a lot of artists make a lot of their money, is in the publishing. Who controls the catalog?
But he pretty much says it's because he couldn't read at one point in time, and he just trusted people to do the right thing by him. I think at one point in time, R. Kelly was worth over $100 million.
Yes. Now, who controls his publishing? The Huffington family. Now, who is the Huffington family? That is Aaliyah's parents.
Yeah, that's Aaliyah's peoples. Mm-hmm. Okay. And so, Terry, you say, Loria Ogans, you already know, dog. And it says, Donovan, you're commenting. Oh. You say, Demetra K, we're coming for you, 1 million against Demetra. I'm scared. And Al says, Spike Lee wearing all gold Jordans, Morris Blackman to the Oscars. How cute. I love Spike Lee. I really do. I've always loved Spike Lee. I hope he wins. Me and Al got into a lot of little verbal fisticuffs this morning about the Oscars. I said, I really don't give a damn. I don't watch award shows and all that kind of stuff because I want Spike Lee to win. I love Spike. If he doesn't win, are we gonna die? I mean, again, we're looking for white validation to say you're good. We know Spike Lee does good work. Do we need white people to tell us that?
Right. I want you guys to remember this date that she said that because she's going to be nominated for a Webby.
Or me?
Yes, for a Webby.
It's not one of those other things, the porn award.
Yeah, no. We're going to put you up for a Webby, so see her down at the award show.
No, I don't want a Razzie.
No, you want a Webby for the best show.
Okay.
The best new show on the web.
Speaking into existence, brother. Speaking into existence. And Jonelle says Jesse only shows money don't mean moral character, nor happiness or intelligence. Yeah, and that's another thing I want to say to you guys too. Like, we're so hurt. Oh, gosh, how could Jesse lie? Oh, is he really lying? Jesse don't give a damn about us. Mm-mm. He only cares about himself. What he did was self-serving. He could have used his platform to help us and himself, but he decided to do it, help himself, even calling himself the gay Tupac. Like, I don't even know what that looks like. Mm-hmm. What is a gay Tupac?
I have no idea. And then you got to think of the damage that he's doing by making a false allegation, allegedly.
Yeah.
Anybody that comes up now, not everybody, but you know what I mean? It brings doubt now.
I think they just stopped looking too for the people. But yeah, I mean, And people say, oh, he ruined Black History Month or he's bringing Black people down. Nah, son. We gonna let the gay community deal with that because that's what he was really appealing to, the gay Tupac.
Real quick, I don't know if you want to transition. Reparations.
Reparations. Okay, so let me get these comments and we'll talk about reparations. Arson says, laugh out loud, no point in saying it's 2019. He got to sometimes. Just to remind people, hey, you know we're not in 1919.
Right.
There's no point in saying it's 2019 anymore. Forget the fact that they are calling for the KKK to come out. How come that organization is still there and the Black Panther was systematically destroyed? There shouldn't even be that organization anymore. Clearly the system wants them there. Well, not only that, but the organization being the KKK got a lot of higher ups in there. When it first started in the early 1900s, there was a lot of judges, legislators.
To be in the government, especially in the South, you had to be a member.
A card-carrying member.
Yes.
So when we think about the KKK, we think about Jethro and them. Mm-hmm. You know, that's just chewing some cud. And John is going to go kill some niggers. Yeah. We don't think about the businessmen or the judges or hell in the White House. Right. You know, we don't think about them. And so, of course, they're not going to go away because the people who have the power to make them go away are card-carrying members themselves. Mm-hmm. And so, yes, anytime you have any Black organization, especially like the Black Panthers, who are going to teach people. I mean, just even go back to Marcus Garvey when he was trying to get us all to come together. They ruined him over $25 mail fraud. Mm-hmm. A mail fraud that was ridiculous and dismantled everything. You know, the other cool part about Marcus Garvey and him being dismantled is a lot of us believe that, I thought he was, dude, they took him down for $25 mail fraud. Mm-hmm. 25, because it was a postcard or an envelope or something he sent to one of the donors. And on the postcard or the envelope or something, it was a picture of the Black Star Line Express, which was their boat. Right. They being Marcus Garvey. Right. Yeah. About the boat. And so, but it had something else. It wasn't really the boat. It was something, another boat. And so they said that was fraud. He misrepresented that being the organization's boat. It was something that they were getting ready to buy. And it took him down over that, and we helped. Well,
I'm glad you mentioned that because even though we're going back a little bit.
Gina.
In the R. Kelly situation, they are charging him with interstate trafficking. Which goes back years. That's what they got Jack Johnson, the first Black Universal Heavyweight Championship. That was with a white girl. Right, yeah. but they're using the same kind of statute.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, they want to try to make everything stick.
And I want everybody to say this, and I'm not saying this that it's a coincidence or something, but the Attorney General of Chicago or whoever this doing the thing is.
Kim Fox.
Yeah, Kim Fox. Bad weave she had on her head. She looked like a total clown to me. But she has been overzealous in her prosecution of this particular case.
Because she said that, I guess she was sexually abused as well.
Right. So, you know, as we transition to Kamala Harris, I want you guys to look at this playbook and look at how they are targeting specific people within their jurisdiction.
Oh, absolutely. And so I'm going to finish all these comments and we'll transition. Go ahead. And Al says, R. Kelly took advantage of teenage girls and the record label screwed him harder. Well, I mean, why aren't we mad? Why was it RCA?
Jive. He was Jive.
Why is Jive still up and running? Mm-hmm. How come Jive is still churning out music?
Yeah, Jive is now, and they closed Jive down as he's part of RCA.
Yeah, so why are they still up and running? I mean, they knew the dude was doing all this stuff. And
because he's making money.
I even heard that some of the executives, some of the girls that R. Kelly was with, the executives were sleeping with him too. Just what I heard, I don't know if it's true. And Arson says, exactly, we do not need white people to tell us what's good about us. Yeah. But we keep falling for it. And we'll argue each other down over it.
Exactly.
And then Al says, Peter Ramsey is the first Black director nominated for Best Animated Film, Spider-Man. I should tell you guys that Al is super into, like, the award season. That's his thing. It's like the award season.
Yeah,
so
thank
you for the updates. Yeah, I don't watch either. I did want to see Queen, though. They're opening the Oscars. But with Adam Lambert, obviously not with Freddie Mercury. Mm-hmm. Charles says, yes, R. Kelly took advantage of those girls, and so did their parents and guardians too. So if you really gave a damn, you would just be just as vicious with your condemnation of R. Kelly. Where is it for their parents too? Sickening. These bandwagoner Black folks, more energy hating on other Black folks. Yeah, it's just like the thing to do, you know. There's another guy in Ed somebody in Los Angeles who has two black men have come up dead on his watch in his property, and this dude is still roaming free.
He's a big Democratic donor.
Where is all the outrage for these black men that have been murdered and sexually abused, or because they were in a sexual relationship? Whatever, they ended up dead. Where's all the outrage for them?
And guess who this guy donated to? He was a big donor for Hillary Clinton. And guess who else? Kamala Harris.
Yeah, he's a big Democrat.
Where's her outrage?
Right.
Where's
she hasn't said a peep.
Hasn't said a peep.
And Jonelle says, we need our own validation, our own unity, our own film production, our own black movies, own everything, our own love of self first would and will blossom everything for us when we get the white, let's see, when we get the white out of our focus. That's what they fear. You see, they truly don't promote that, like Master P and those whom vision in self-production and self-improvement. Absolutely. When we get our own, we won't care.
Well, here's the thing. We do have our own in production and stuff like that. Tyler Perry has his own production company in Atlanta. The problem with it is Tyler Perry is not for unions. He doesn't want to unionize. He wants to keep them at certain wages. And
right. Tyler Perry produces garbage too.
Yeah. That's one of the problems. If you're going to get to something like that, you want fair wages, you want fair pay. And a lot of these companies, especially when you start up, they don't want people to unionize.
Oh, shit. I'm trying to reconnect. Okay, got it. And so Al says, you can talk about Jethro all you want, but don't say anything bad about Uncle Jed and Barnaby Jones. Rip, buddy, it's crazy. Jonelle says, so how powerful was Marcus Garvey? How powerful is the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Minister Farrakhan with the ability to vision beyond white dependency? Yeah, I mean, and honestly, Farrakhan is the longest. I think I'm right in saying that the longest serving black leader that has not, been. I mean, they've tried to impede what he's doing, but I mean, he's still going strong. You
would be correct. And Farrakhan reconstituted the nation in the 70s, right?
Yeah, he came
back after the son took it in another direction. So yeah, he is the actual one, and he's the one that is not getting money from outside sources other than his own people.
Right. And so let's see. But that's not necessarily true, because I know somebody's going to come on and say that's not true. What about outside funding from the any outside money?
No, I'm talking about from the Democrats or these.
Oh, got it. Not like that. I know that they get grants from the federal government.
Yeah, no. I'm talking about outright.
Right, but I know but I'm just trying to clear it up, because I know somebody's going to argue with that. They get grants from the government to help with the prison ministry, but it says in the message to the black men in America, Elijah Muhammad asked black people to go get those grants. So it's like, you guys aren't uncovering anything new.
And here's the thing. Grants mean money with no strings.
Yeah.
That's what it means. It's not a loan. It's a grant.
I'm like, where's the smoking gun? Right. It says it in a black message to the black man in America. Elijah Muhammad is asking people, if you can, go get the money from the government to start our own stuff.
And there's all kinds of grants out there, but we go and get our kids into loans and debt, and we go into this debt when there's thousands of grants out there that you can just get money with no strings attached.
Al says Cicely Tyson is wearing all black to the Oscars. Where you go, girl. She almost 100 years old.
Yeah, she's like 97.
And Samuel says, how does this fly with all the abuse in Catholic Church?
Yes.
What about their push for legalization of pedophilia? Hashtag not excusing R. Kelly. Well, yeah, sure. I mean, every day, because I listen to mostly radio than I do TV, NPR, and they're always talking about the Catholic Church. The Archbishop or the Pope, he's now trying to construct this 8-point something to help eradicate the Catholic Church of sex abuse. Like, come on, dude. I got a few.
Yeah.
Let them get married and let them have sex. Okay? And then if they keep doing it, I won't say that, but they'll start with that. Let them get married so they stop playing with these kids.
Yeah, well, the thing is the Pope, he suggested some things, but he had no tangible answers to it.
Yeah, but look at all the leeway they get for doing it. Like thousands and thousands of kids. And I mean, even they starting to rape the nuns now. Like seriously, not even when they're trying to rape. And Al says, R. Kelly don't have the bail money, but you and Donovan have it to give. I don't know. I think we're going to spend our money just a little bit more wisely, okay?
Right.
And he said, let your audience know what the minister did for Shamar Moore. I forget, but I keep trying to tell, because Al was like learning a lot of stuff. And I said, the minister ain't new to none of this.
Right.
The minister knows a lot of people. He's just not one to talk about everything, because you're not supposed to do that.
Exactly.
You're not supposed to brag about
what
everything
you've done.
Right. I'll tell you guys one thing. I do stuff for homeless people all the time, but I never get on Facebook and look what I did. Oh, you come here. Let me take a picture with you. Mm-hmm. I never do that. Only person I told about something I did as of last night was my brother, because it was his that I gave away.
Right.
He left the sweater in my car. And I saw a homeless guy. He didn't have no jacket.
He volunteered the sweater.
I said, do you have a jacket? He says, no. I gave it to him. And he put it on. He put it on right away. He said, thank you. So I had to call my brother. And he would
appreciate it more than your brother would.
Yeah, I called him. I said, don't mind. I gave your jacket away. He goes, nah, I don't mind. Because my brother's into that kind of stuff too, yeah.
And that's the whole thing. If people would stop worrying about and start thinking of others before they think themselves, they will be blessed 1,000%.
Absolutely. And Charles says, reparations. I commented earlier that East Germany, I'm sorry, I didn't see that comment. Commented earlier that East Germany pay terrorist state Israel reparation, and these Democrat presidential candidates are using it pandering to black voters. I don't know. Let's see. Pandering to black voters. I don't know why, when the black voters give our votes away to them for nothing, just like when we give our money over to Asians, Middle Eastern, and everyone else. Reparations can easily be paid to the descendants of the African slaves, as well as reparations to the descendants of the Native Americans whose ancestors suffered genocide and theft of their land. It is all a political decision away. So until we have a progressive Congress willing to address reparation, it will just be a political ploy with no meat or economic blueprint to go about it.
I will agree with a lot of what he said, but I'm going to have to disagree with one thing. The Native Americans have received their reparations. They are their own nation, and they're allowed to have casinos.
Have you been to some of those casinos?
Yes, I have. And so I'm going to tell you, these guys are making money hand over fist. In this country, the only people that should be getting reparations that haven't received them are the DOSs, descendant of slaves.
Yep.
But you're going to find a lot of Latinas like AOC, and I'm a big AOC supporter. She tries to attach herself to that. No, we want reparations in regards to black people specifically.
Right, absolutely. But I said this earlier, that, Charles, to your point, that a lot of these politicians are now being forced to have this conversation. Right. A couple of years ago, I never heard Barack Obama talk about reparations, but not everybody, whether they're full of shit or not, most of them probably are. But at least now they're talking about it because and it's like it didn't even take us that long to organize. Now we're starting to hold them accountable and say, no more.
Right.
No more are you going up to Washington with our votes and don't bring us anything back. And so at least now the conversation started. We just need to keep the momentum
going. And we're not going to fall for the $100 billion. Now, $100 billion a month, $100 billion a month, I could roll with that.
Yeah, come on.
No. And then these people trying to sunset themselves in part of the reparation discussion.
The same old.
Yeah, the Hispanics. No, you're getting reparations right now. The Asians, you guys are getting you guys have got yours already.
Like, go somewhere now.
Yes, this should be specifically for black people.
I agree. And Samuel says, since 1955, Farrakhan has been on his post. Absolutely. Like strong, unwavering. And so, he's one of the last greatest leaders that we have. Right. And so we need to start following directions very quickly, and so that we can duplicate the legacy that he is leaving, but that he's leaving as we speak. And Jonelle says, but this government needs to fund or pay what they have done in the Black Holocaust. They clearly continue as they paid for Israel. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, like I said, we're now holding people accountable. We're not sending you to Washington on lies anymore.
Now, here's the funny thing. Elizabeth Warren and Kamala Harris now are talking about reparations.
That's what I'm saying.
So isn't it funny how they go to the playbook? And you guys need to applaud yourselves, because if it wasn't for the new black media and people like you guys that are out there thinking for yourselves, these people would be selling us the same old bullshit they've been selling us.
We forced their hand.
Right.
Just, like I said, it didn't take that long. It really kind of started when Kamala came out. Then black people were like, okay. Enough.
You smoked weed and you're from Jamaica. Sure you are.
We said enough because we already know, what you're up to. I know there's some people, I don't care. She could kill Jesus.
Right.
And they're still going to vote for her.
That's fine.
That's fine. But the majority of us are not falling for it. And I hate to hear people say, well, why don't you talk about the white candidates? Because we know their spiel.
Yeah. Look, the white candidates don't have to fool us. We know what they're about.
We know what they're about.
You elect a white person, they're going to do their agenda, unlike Trump. Got tax breaks for the rich. We know they're going to take care. We're always going to be last. We're never going to even come up. Now, I want to hold my people to the fire. What are you going to do for me specifically? But if you sound like that white man, you ain't getting my vote.
And Malcolm X talked about that because those be the ones, those politicians, black people, go up to Washington and try to speak for the rest of us based off of their cooing, for lack of better words.
And, real quick, I am doing,
I see your comment now.
Yeah, I'm doing a series on a lot of these black congressmen and the black caucus and stuff. Have you guys ever thought about this? What has the Black Caucus done in regards now?
Well, what do they do? I'm confused too.
The number one person I started with was John Lewis, Mr. I'm an Icon.
Right.
Do you guys realize that John Lewis has put out legislation for the Dreamers? He has put out legislation for the immigrants, all this other stuff. When I looked and said, okay, specifically, what is he doing for black people? He put out some kind of proclamation for Aretha Franklin.
Is that all he's done?
Well, he's got a lot of stuff. These are like little things. She
don't deserve it,
but what are you doing specifically for the people you represent?
Reparations.
Nothing.
Right.
Zero. And if you guys would do your homework and look at these black representatives, they are up there feeding at the thing of the trough. The only thing you hear about John Lewis is, I'm a civil rights icon. Okay, we understand that. I marched with King.
What have you done for us lately?
Right. And if you look at his record, and we're talking about a record that goes back from 1994.
Right.
Nothing tangible in there for black people.
But he's a civil rights icon.
He's a civil rights icon.
Well, you know what, though? To play devil's advocate here.
Which you always do.
Right, but maybe he's more or less like, hell, I got y'all Negroes some civil rights. What else do you need?
Well, look at the state of our plight.
I know, because a lot of people in his age group, especially from the civil rights era, they say those things. Oh, we made great strides.
Y'all need to take the baton and move it. How can we take the baton and move it forward if you're still going to hold on to it?
From my cold
dead hands. Thank you.
Right. And Al says his role on Young and the Restless, talking about Shamar Moore. You told me, but I forget exactly what the minister did. But he's friends with Shamar, and he has advised them. And, so like I said, Al.
Yeah, Shamar kept me down from getting into Hollywood because he knew I was going to be some serious competition to his, pretty boy ways.
Yeah, so the minister's friends with a lot of people. He just doesn't talk about it.
Yeah. The Demetri K show gets a lot of funding from Chicago.
I wish. But no, I mean, everybody doesn't need to know the good deeds you do.
You don't, yeah.
That should be between you, God, and that person. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you're looking to be lifted up by other people. Look what I did. Oh, I just fed all these homeless people.
Yeah,
we're all in McDonald's now. You're taking all these photos. That's not for you. I mean, that's not for the benefit of that homeless person. That's the benefit of you to say, look what I've done.
Yeah, a lot of people ask, why am I called the Duke of Edgemont? Well, there's a specific reason why I am called the Duke of Edgemont.
It's called the Duke of Edgemont, y'all. The Duke.
I'm known as a person that gets stuff done. Now, I don't have to specifically say what I do, but this area that I live in was... it wasn't a bad area, just an older neighborhood, and it was being taken advantage of. And I go to City Hall and I take care of some business.
Is a thorn in City Hall's side, but good. That's what we need. We need people to go to City Hall, and that's another thing too. And me and Donovan always talk about this. You can tell what your city council thinks about you by what they allow to go up in your neighborhood.
In your
cities. If you live in a lower income neighborhood and you have pawn shops, smoke shops.
Drugstores,
chicken and cashes, liquor stores.
I'm sorry, not drugstores.
All that other
No, but now the drugstores, cannabis stores.
Yeah, the cannabis stores. You see all that in your neighborhood? That's because
think.
We don't show up. And then we'll say, gosh, we got all these people in our neighborhood, there's alcohol. Well, you could have stopped that if you went to City Hall and told the city council, listen.
Or they changed the zoning of your residential area.
Mm-hmm. We're reactive. Mm-hmm. Proactive is going and saying, okay, you know what, Betty, let's go on down to City Hall because I heard they're trying to put another liquor store in our neighborhood. Mm-hmm. We don't need no more garbage here. We're going to show up, and we're going to show up in numbers, and we're going to let them know we are watching you. And when election comes, you will not have the seat again if you keep putting garbage in our neighborhoods. In fact, if you want a cannabis shop, put it in your neighborhood.
Exactly. Here's something you guys got to think about. Here in California, I don't know about any other state, but here in my city, they have attached the waste management company to your property tax.
Right.
Now, when let's say your waste management company says you're behind and you refuse to pay it, right? You refuse. if you're paying your property tax at the end of the year, which you're supposed to do, your bill from the waste management company should be paid, correct?
Right, but they separated it.
But that's what I'm saying.
Right.
How could you pay your property tax and then still owe a bill to the waste management company?
Get by the residents.
Thank you.
How to see? And that's the kind of stuff that goes over our heads when we are focusing on your Jussies and the Gucci's and all these other things. Did y'all hear what he said?
Thank you.
What waste management is supposed to be included in your tax bill that you pay. Well, some people pay twice a year, depending on when you want to pay.
Twice a year, whatever.
It's supposed to be included
in your
in
tax
that,
bill.
but it's not. It's separated, so they get you separately once a month.
Right.
So
if you're behind, so what? You're going to pay at the end of the year anyway.
But get behind to see what happened though.
Thank you.
You know.
So they're double dipping.
Exactly.
And people don't pay attention.
But people don't pay attention. They don't know that because we're so distracted. And so, listen. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all.
Preach.
I've gone to a couple of city hall meetings,
and nothing's worse than Moreno Valley.
And it's terrible.
Terrible.
It's like watching paint dry.
Yes.
And like watching these old crotchety people fight. But you know what? Those old crotchety people are making sure that no drama go on in their neighborhood without them at least having some say-so. And so the point that I'm making is, it's not a good time. It's not. You might rather be walking on a bed of fire.
But even if you're only there for 15, 20 minutes during public comment.
Yeah, show up and see what's on the docket, what they're going to vote on.
A lot of the stuff's online now, so you don't even have to show up.
Right, it's true. You could watch, so there's no excuse not to get involved. So
if you're wondering why the high end of your city, they get immediate police response.
Right.
Think about it.
Right.
Think about it.
It's because exactly. And why they don't have potholes. You guys, have you been experiencing a lot of potholes?
Especially
my God.
Yes.
And especially because of the rain. I mean, it's like effing your car up.
Yep.
But it's like you said, on the good side of town, they don't have a lot of potholes. They might have some, but I mean, I'm playing like Tetris, especially coming out here.
Spy hunter.
Yeah, I'm trying to dodge the potholes because I don't want my car tore up.
Exactly.
I mean, because I can't call the city and say, you know what? Y'all done busted like 4 of my tires. Who can I get an invoice? Get his invoice to?
Exactly.
So what else we got on the
like I said, we have the Kamala Harris playbook and the reparations. What you want to talk about?
Well, I mean, honestly, this is my opinion on Kamala. I think Kamala's.
Well, it's not just Kamala Harris. The politicians in general.
Oh yeah. Well, it's listen.
Because Kamala Harris is done. I
agree.
Her presidential campaign is over.
But listen, if black people weren't so important, they wouldn't be. Oh yes, we getting reparations for you. Hold on, yes, if you send me to Washington. Everybody's talking about reparations now. So if the black
trying to attach
vote
themselves
was not important, they would be like, well, slavery was a long time ago. Why don't you black people just get over it? No, they're all coming up with some form of reparation.
Yes, and have you noticed that when anything that has to do with black people, they want to water it down by attaching themselves to it. So we don't get the whole
like Marianne Williamson, I believe she was one of the first people to talk about reparations. She's a new candidate running, I guess, she's a Democrat?
Yeah,
running a Democratic ticket. Yeah, and these should only talk about $100 billion, which I think comes, I know, but I'm saying, because a lot of people said, well, that's not enough. I think they said once you do the math, it comes up to like $7,000
a person,
per black person that's here, which is not a lot of money compared to all
the trillions of dollars that they made every year.
I mean, America is standing and is the institution that it is due to the institution of slavery. That's a fact.
Thank you.
And so, yes, $7,000 sounds good, but $700,000 sound better to me.
A month.
At least, I mean, you break me off $1 million a piece for everybody. It's something to help close the wealth gap. The wealth gap is ridiculous. It is said that the average black household makes about
$11,000 a year.
Well, no, average like 36,000 on average.
Oh, you mean
black overall?
Right. Okay, gotcha.
And white is like 61 on average.
Well,
obviously we know there's some numbers.
Well, the thing is, regardless of the numbers, black people are 55% lower than the white person or something like that.
Oh yeah, the wealth gap is ridiculous.
Huge. Yeah,
we own, as Dr. Claude Anderson always talks about, we own next to nothing. We just don't, And so,
And I'll cut you off. But remember, nobody was talking about this until Bernie Sanders brought these things up. So and I know a lot of people say, well, Bernie doesn't have a chance of winning. That's not the point. The point is, here was a guy that was unknown who had a 60-point gap against Hillary Clinton, closed it in less than a year. They had to rig the election against him. And some of the mainstream Democrats that we have out there right now are championing his arguments 2 years ago.
Right. And they said also Bernie raised about $6 million
in 24
hours. I know
and Kamala
came from you.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. But, Kamala, she raised $1 million.
Yes, Bernie raised $6 million.
Let me tell you guys something.
Hours.
Let me tell you guys something. When that dropped, now remember, they've been pushing Kamala for over a month. CNN gave her a town hall, all this stuff.
About Kamala no more.
Okay. Bernie did that in 24 hours, tripled it, whatever that is,
and
right?
It's not even like corporate donors or none of that.
No
stuff.
corporate donors.
Right.
He did that. Kamala Harris campaign is over. It is over.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So I don't care what anybody says. For him getting those individual donors, $6 million, you count every one of those $27 divided by 6 million. That's how many people have supported him in just 24 hours.
Right.
So she's done. And like I said, I'm not against Kamala. I know people are saying, he hates Kamala. No, that ain't what I'm saying. I'm saying she needs to clean up her record. She had no business running right now.
Right.
And now because she did run, she is ruined now. She could never run again because the Democrats never run the same candidate.
Yeah, but again, she and a lot of other people underestimated. You guys, I don't see any more comments, which is why we're talking, but she and a lot of other people underestimated Black people. They just thought it was business as usual. And that I'll just get the vote because Democrats always get the Black vote. Majority of it anyway. Right. They always get it. So I don't have to worry about nothing.
And it's very dumb politically when you attach yourself to Hillary Clinton people, Hillary Clinton donors, and this is public record, and you expect to win. Hillary Clinton lost. So why would you do that?
Right. Well, you think Hillary will run?
No, she ain't running.
She is.
And people say, what about Biden? I'm not for age disparity because
Bernie old.
No, he's old. But guess who's older than him?
Who?
Nancy Pelosi.
Oh.
So she's the Speaker of the House. Right. So anybody says Bernie shouldn't run because he's too old, then Nancy Pelosi needs to step down and stuff like that. And another person you need to think about, Barbara Lee. This woman was the one woman that voted against the Iraq war, whatever thing we're doing. She formally endorsed Kamala Harris. Why would she do that?
Again,
now she's done.
One of the same people who denounced Farrakhan, so I was done with her then.
Right, exactly. But you see what I'm saying?
She was cool with him up until white folks told her denounce him,
and now
she did.
And now they told her, Kamala's faltering here. You need to endorse her. It ain't gonna matter.
Kamala's fool. Done. Kamala, however, she's a fool to think
we're that stupid.
Yeah, I mean, they honestly no shade to us, but we have been up until recently. We have been okay. I'll give you my vote.
Zombies.
Where do I vote? Who? They're Democrat. It doesn't matter what they've done. They're just as long as they're Democrat,
And I know people are. This is unpopular. I know people are listening. Didn't I say Donald Trump was going to make the hood great again? Didn't I say that?
Yes, a lot of people have actually said.
And he's done that because now we're seeing if we don't wake up and start holding these people accountable for our votes and make smart decisions and where we're going to go, we're going to continue to get a Donald Trump. And no shade to Donald Trump. He's been in there for 2 years. What has he done any different than Barack Obama, George Bush, Bill Clinton? He hasn't done anything to me that those people have done to me. If anything, he's done less because he's not trying to lock people up.
And, I mean, I'm not even like a Donald Trump fan or nothing. I'm actually impartial to the whole thing, to be honest with you. But if you want to say that he's done something, now this is kind of like I'm digging and reaching, but he's also cut funding to Planned Parenthood. Who does Planned Parenthood predominantly affect? Black women and babies. And so
the Black Holocaust.
Yeah, and I know a lot of feminists are going to say, well, it ain't Planned Parenthood. I'm not, listen.
Past do your
thing, boo. But when it comes to disproportionately killing Black babies, then we should speak up. And I guess we should be happy that Donald Trump has cut a lot of funding to Planned Parenthood. Yes. Like, I agree with that. Like, why should I have to pay to help people murder their children? Mm-hmm. I know that's kind of an austere word, but that's what it is. Why should I help? Because that's taxpayers' money.
And the sad thing is,
get rid of their babies because they, whatever reason, you know.
Right. And the sad thing is, I'm trying to be judgmental, but the fact of the matter is, in our community, that is being used as a form of birth control, and it shouldn't be used like that. We need to make better decisions.
That because, as we know, that Planned Parenthood. How much time we got?
We got 5 minutes.
Planned Parenthood was partially designed to eradicate Black people. Mm-hmm. And here it is still standing.
And think about that. Maybe our numbers wouldn't be so stagnant if we didn't participate.
Well, yeah, they said it's to this date is over 30 million babies. I could be wrong, but 3 million.
Yeah, about 3 million.
I think that's not 30
about 3 million. Yeah, about
3 million babies have been aborted in the Black community, more than people died in Vietnam to date.
And in Vietnam, there's only 54,000 people that died.
Right, and so, I mean, to your point about Trump, isn't that a good thing for Black people that he's cut funding to Planned Parenthood, which a lot of Planned Parenthood clinics are in the neighborhoods? Isn't that a good thing?
And what I think, too, is what people are seeing with the reconstitution of this racism and stuff like that, that if we don't get our shit together, we're going to be in a world of hurt.
Oh, absolutely.
If we just keep letting John Lewis's and all these people keep leading us astray. We gotta pull it together. And that's all I'm saying. I'm not against Kamala Harris. I was the first one to say she should not run right now, based on what we know.
Well, yeah, we live out here, so we know. And so anyway, I don't see any more comments. So if you guys want to shoot us a question or two, something off the cuff that you want us to answer real quick, we'll be more than happy to do that.
We got 3 minutes left. Okay. What happened to the South Africa thing?
South Africa.
Remember at the beginning of the show, this one wanted to know about our South Africa trip and everything like that. How, I mean, what, let me go back, but why should what's happening in South Africa, are we afraid?
Oh, so Donovan and I have been entertaining going to South Africa, and people are asking or saying...
No, we're not entertaining, we're going to go.
Right, saying you should be afraid. Are you afraid? And Donovan made a good point, too. Why are we afraid of our own people?
People that look like us. Why would we be afraid?
Yeah, why are we... It's because we believe the hype of the media. Oh, they run around there with spears and
even if they are.
And they're eating people and all that other nonsense. It's like, now, you might be talking about somewhere in Europe, but,
I mean, Demetria wants to go to the Singalese Island.
No, I don't want to go to the Singalese Island. They made it abundantly clear.
You're not welcome.
Ass over here, okay? We will put a...
spear up your butt. Right.
Okay.
No, but what's going on in South Africa? For those that have not been paying attention, they have an election May 8th. This election is going to be pivotal because the ANC and the land grabbing is going on over there. I mean, the white people are arming themselves. It is going to be
land grabbing.
The land grabbing. They are going to amend the Constitution to start appropriating land from white people without compensation.
Absolutely, and like you said, that's happening very soon in May. And that is led by Julius Malema and the EFF, Economic Freedom Fighters. They're like, we're done with you, ANC. We're done waiting for you guys to do the right thing by us.
It's almost been 30 years since apartheid has
And you guys, I don't see, for whatever reason, the last comment I only see is Al's, when he says his role on Young and the Restless. Do you see any more comments? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't see any more comments, Marcus. So I don't know where they are. Odd. That's the only comment that I see. Mm-hmm. So for some reason, they're not coming through. And forgive me, you guys, if I don't see your comments or I
It's the government. I tell you, it's the government.
Yeah, but I only see Al's comment says his role on the Young and the Restless. That's the last one I see. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's the last one you see as well. Mm-hmm. So
I think the government is like cluing in on you.
You think
so? Like that. But no, back to South Africa real quick before we go. We have a minute left. I believe that we need to go. I think we need to do a show from there and kind of actually report what's actually going on. And I've said to Demetria and I say to everybody else, when stop talking about stuff, just go do it.
Just go do it.
Just go do it.
That's my motto too. Just go do it.
I mean, we go to Paris, we go to Germany, we go to Japan. Black people, not enough of us are going over there to see what's going on over there.
Motherland.
Right, but these people are coming over here, taking advantage of all our stuff.
Right.
So that's what I say about that. But.
Right. So let me see if I can see. I think Marcus sent me some comments. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know why I'm not getting the comments because I see the comments that you're sending, but I'm here. It's not that I'm missing the comments. You don't see them either?
I don't see them.
Yeah, we don't see them from our end. Let me see if I can go on
the government's locking us.
Yeah, because I don't see them. But let me see if I can get them. Oops, from my end on my other phone.
And you guys believe that's going on too in the black media circus,
I'm
where
gonna get these comments, y'all.
they are locking us.
Let me see what's going on here.
So
okay.